and action. Okay. Exercise 24.3. We are going to be doing lots of calculations with our temperatures here. If it helps you, you need to do column method. Don't take shortcuts, and obviously no calculators allowed. Right? So from the temperatures given below, calculate how many degrees the temperature must rise or drop, but we want our final answer to be 100. Just like with this number 2 that we did in exercise 24.2. So you could actually set your work out like this here. I think I'd prefer that, right? So number 1A, they give you 25. Do you need to add to get to 100, or do you need to subtract here to get to 100, Menentle? You have 25. Our final destination is 100, but you only have 25. So should you add to 25 or subtract to 25 to get 100? We need to add. We only have 25. We need to push to 100, right? So what do I add to 25 to get to 100? Hey, 75. We need to learn how to count in 25s. Okay. So your first sum will be 1A, 25 plus 75 equals? Let's take another one. For example, 1D says 231 degrees Celsius. I need to get to 100. I'm at 231. Must I add here or subtract to come to 100? Menentle? I need to come down, Nana. So I need to subtract. So 231 minus what is going to give me 100? 131. Your brain didn't even need to do a calculation there, hey? Because you're working with whole numbers there. Right. So you will say 231 minus 131 equals 100. All your answers there must be 100 like mine is on the board. Okay. Number 2, fill in the missing numbers in this temperature chain. So I start off with 18,7 degrees Celsius. Then I minus 9,8 degrees Celsius. What do I get? You must fill it in there. Then that answer plus 7,2 degrees Celsius, where do I end up? All right. Then that answer, ignore that last arrow there because they're not telling us if we're plussing or minusing there. So just cancel that last arrow that says 6,2. Okay? Now, exercise 24.4. Answer the following questions. They were without using a calculator. Without using a man-made calculator. You must use this calculator here. Right? Musa Wandile Njokwe? Yes, ma'am? Yes, question? Ask it. No, it's made by God. It is a God-made calculator. Okay. Number 1. The maximum temperature readings over 4 days in London was 2,8 degrees Celsius. That was the maximum, eh? The highest it went for that day was 2,8 degrees Celsius. 2,8. Then the next day it was 3 degrees Celsius. Then it went back down to 2,4 degrees Celsius. And then on the 4th day it was lower. The lowest, 1,8 degrees Celsius. That means it was 1,8 above freezing point. Right. Calculate the difference. So what is my operation that I'm using there, Lwazi? Okay, good. Minus. Between the highest, what's the highest temperature, Tando? Right, 3 degrees Celsius. And the lowest, what's the lowest, Menentle? That's right. So I take 3 minus 1,8, I get my answer. You can set it out like how we calculated the differences for the other cities, okay? Number 2, the minimum temperature, the lowest it got for Cape Town was 15,8. And the maximum on that same day in the same city was 23,2. calculate the difference between the minimum and the maximum. Remember, these are word problems, eh? Okay. Number 3. Mom baked us some muffins, a cake, bread and pie. Hey, things were good that weekend. For the muffins, the oven was set at 165 degrees Celsius. To bake the cake, the oven was set at 220 degrees Celsius. The bread required the temperature of 185 degrees Celsius, while the pie needed a temperature of 175 degrees Celsius. Number 3A, what was the difference in the oven temperature between the pie and the cake? What am I going to do there, Abulele? I'm going to subtract. I take the temperature of the oven for the pie, I take the temperature of the oven for the cake, and I do what Abulele said, I subtract. Okay. B, if she baked the items in the order given in the question, write down by how many degrees she had to increase or decrease each time. So you start with the muffins 165. What did she bake next? The cake was 220. So what did I add from 165 to 220 to get to 220? You calculate that. Okay? 165 plus what equals 220? Then my next sum, I start off at 220, I need to get to 185. Must I add or subtract? Subtract, because I'm getting lower. So 220 minus what gives me 185. Next line. I start off at 185, I need to get to 175. Do I add or subtract? I'm at 185, I need to get to 175. Do I add or subtract? Subtract. 185 minus what gives me 175? Are we together? All right, you can start.